Okay, we're gonna talk about why the Middle East is the way it is. I mean, everyone's been trying to like fight for peace in the Middle East for a really long time, right? Like most of us, it's all we know. It's just the Middle East is, just kind of a disaster, right? What if I told you at one time it actually wasn't that bad? Like, what if I told you that before World War One, it was a big like conglomerate, basically, like a caliphate, essentially. Like ISIS, they believe that their caliphate believes they're going to unify them all. They all do, and I'll tell you why they actually believe this. All of them like believe this because like before World War II, if you watch like the movie Aladdin, right, you see like that kingdom or whatever. That was the entire Middle East. It went from Turkey, like literally, like probably all the way to Iran. It was that big. And it may have even gone farther. I'm not 100% sure. Like, it's really old maps, and it's just like a pipe dream that could ever be peaceful. Now, what happened to cause that? So, what happened to cause that was during World War One, Germany and the Ottoman Empire is what we call this huge conglomerate. They worked together in World War One, and they were actually fighting against like the Allied forces, and Italy was actually part of the Allied forces like at that time. So, anyways, you get the huge fighting and stuff. I don't know a ton about it. Okay, I'm gonna admit I don't know a lot about, but what I do know about it is that the boundary lines after that war. After that war, like I'm pretty sure it was like Great Britain and like France, and I don't think the U.S. was powerful enough to be doing this yet. But anyways, there was like the all the countries you see were actually all those lines were drawn, and most of them were like owned by like a specific power, right? Then I'm not sure what led to them getting independence, okay? That's probably a whole nother video, and we don't need to worry about that. But what we do need to worry about and be concerned about is that when these lines were drawn, they would literally take tribes. Like imagine you have like a Native American reservation, right? Imagine cutting it in half, right? Like just, or like a tribal line, cutting it in half. And the two predominant ones were like Sunni and Shia, right? They would create a situation by drawing these boundary lines. They would not only cut whole tribes in half, but they would be set next to a rival like group. And these people were essentially like set up for failure, believe it or not, because it's kind of like, where they're just like having to work together and like they can't work together. Like at least not when the two sets are clamoring for power in the thing. Now, like I said, the Ottoman Empire had some kind of system going, but I think their secret sauce was that it was divided more like each tribe kind of like did its own thing, or like each group. There's like tons of ethnic minorities. I mean, there's like shit. Oh my God, there's like Kurds in Iraq. There's like the Sunni Triangle is actually where Saddam Hussein was from. It was like the worst place they claim in Iraq. Even in Afghanistan, when I was there, like there's like Farsi and then there's like Pashtun. I was in a Pashtun area, which was kind of weird, but whatever. And yeah, it was kind of different, but like there's just like you get one book, the Quran, right? But then you get many different like groups fight. You know what it'd be like? It'd be like if Protestants went to war with like I'm not gonna fucking say Catholic. That's fucking happening. That's been happening in fucking Northern Ireland. That's a horrible example because it actually does happen. But a better example. Okay, let's say. Let's say Baptists went to war with like Catholics in the United States. Let's just say that. Okay. Yeah, and then like imagine those two groups fighting and then they like had to work together, you know? Like from a bird's eye view, it shouldn't matter, right? The differences between say the Baptist church and like the Catholic, like you wouldn't think there should be a difference, but you talk to people and there is already a difference, except for the like United States Constitution sets it up so that we separate church and state, so then one like Baptist group or one Catholic group can't just go take over the government and then just say, oh, you're ethnic minorities and stuff like that. That's like the difference. And that's what like the First Amendment, one of the biggest reasons for the First Amendment was literally so that a religious power could not like suppress like a group of people based upon their beliefs. Like, you know, the Catholic Church did that so much, and you saw that like so much in history that clearly the framers didn't want to see that. So that is why the Middle East is so messed up, and they have never been able to like fix that because of how those boundaries are drawn. And you'll see like China and like Russia funding one group, and then like usually Iran, you know? I mean, unfortunately, we got any names here. And then like you'll see the US arm like Saudi Arabia and like Israel and stuff. And like we'll toss Israel out of that whole thing because, you know, they got a different thing going. But, you know, Sunni Muslims in like Saudi Arabia sometimes fight like Shia Muslims. That, you know, their big hegemon is in Iran. And, you know, you get like places being contested and stuff all the time for this. All right. Hope that clarifies that. That's like pretty much 100 years.